Gospel Entertainment Television.
Welcome to GETV. Today we interview the author of The Nautical Negro by Brian B.J. James. Check it out.
All right, today we're with Brian James. Brian James, a surfer from Port Chester, New York.
AKA the Nautical Negro. AKA the Big Dog.
So Brian, a lot of these young folks that go to jail have mental illness. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Well, I mean, there's a number of them that come in with mental illness, and then there's a lot of them that what you might call temporarily insane from the drugs. And you know, they're young boys, some of them, you know, and what they do is they get a murder rap. A lot of them kill somebody when they was high on drugs or dust or something, and you know, they still acting like they're tough when they get in jail. And then when the drugs wear off, they start realizing that they're not going home either at all or for a really long time. And you know, these dudes who do skid bids come home and they make it sound like jail is gravy, but a lot of them was in there and it wasn't gravy. And when they call that med line at night, I mean, you should see the line on the meds, and you see all these cats standing there getting their meds because they can't sleep. Because you can't kill, so you never kill somebody and get away with it. That them folks come back, whoever you killed, the last thing you see when you close your eyes.
Prepare to continue straight to stay on this highway.
And they come back and visit you every night. And all those cats that was tough guys, they find out that they, you know, one, they're young, so they really aren't mentally strong yet. Now they find out they ain't never going to see a girl again, and they might have killed one of their best friends over $10 or a girl or something silly. And, you know, now they in jail, 25 to life or something like that. You know, when you 17, 18 years old and they shout them numbers on you, and they still, a lot of times when they go into court,
please continue
they still high.
On this
they
highway.
Still in county jail, smoking weed, getting high, and they ain't still, you know, the reality don't set in on them a lot of times until they get into that state prison. You know, and it's a whole different ball game when you go to the big boy school. You know, it's a whole different ball game in big boy school.
Please continue straight to stay on this highway.
Some of them kids thought they was tough. They 130, 40 pounds. Now they got a 250-pound roommate who ain't going home either. So he don't care about getting in trouble.
Follow the current road for 10 miles.
You know? Cats be getting raped and everything else. They find out they ain't so tough when they get in there. No gun, they ain't got no gun. That gun make everybody tough on the street. You get in big boy school, there ain't no guns in there. You know? Yeah, I mean, going to prison isn't much different than a lot of these guys that go into the military. I mean, they go in there, they're young as hell. Back in the day, the average age of the Vietnam vet was 19 years old that was coming home dead or screwed up. And I mean, everybody got somebody. I got somebody in my family, and he's just not the way, he's not who he was when he left. They took a cat who never even had a street fight and turned him into a killer. I mean, he even told me when he came home once that you know, he had over 35 kills, confirmed kills. And that was after his first tour. He went back 2 more times, went back as a sniper. So he was watching people's heads disappear after he shot them. And they get home, and just like the cats in jail, you don't just unsee that. You can't not see it no more. Those visions are with you the rest of your life, and those people come back and see you every night. So, you know, they come back and the government does nothing. The government does absolutely nothing for these people. I read an article that...
What's that?
My phone. I read an article that there were over 20,000 vets living in the woods in Florida alone. And these cats, you know, they come home, they're messed up, and they can't get no help. They try to go to the VA, oh, there's no, you know, there's nothing wrong with you, or there's nothing we can do. Or the most they do is give them a bunch of meds that they can't get off the rest of their life. Instead of, you know, giving them some counseling and trying to get them, you know, acclimated. That's why a lot of these veterans just come home and go off. You know, they train, the only thing they train to do is assassinate and to kill. And, you know, so when they get home, everybody is still the enemy. Everybody's still the enemy. So the only way they know how to handle a problem is to shoot it. Kill it. The Army don't teach these cats that, like the commercials, come to the nail, come and learn the computer and learn this. No. Especially if you're a young black man. What they're going to do is give you a gun and put you on the front lines. If you know anything about a computer, it'll be a computer inside a tank or something. But you ain't going to be sitting back in some secure office building working on a computer. You're going to be on the front lines dodging bullets and bombs. And they come home shook. They come home alcohol dependent, drug dependent. The ones who get hurt get hooked on the pain meds. You know, but there's no real pain meds for that mental anguish. You know, you might have a bad leg or a bad back or something, and they can give you some pain pills. But what do they do for your mental? When your mental's broken, when you watched your best friend get killed, when you watch your girlfriend get killed, and then you come home, you a young man, you know, a young lady nowadays, in your early 20s, and you got mental problems, mental issues, you might have physical issues, and the government's not helping you. Me, I'm a veteran of the war on drugs. You know, there's a lot of us. I see all these stickers, you know, and hats and stuff, Vietnam, war veteran. Well, there's a whole lot of brothers that are veterans of this war on drugs that this government decided, instead of, you know, stopping the drugs before they got in, they don't go to the head of the snake. They always go to the tail of the snake, which in this case was young black men. Young men of color. Not one of us owns a plane or a ship that all of them drugs was coming in on. But we're the ones that they could find. I was an easy target. War on drugs is supposed to be about cocaine and heroin. And somehow they come and get me for weed. But they couldn't find the guys right down the street, right next to me, selling the dope, selling the crack, you know. They working with the police, so they got free reign. little punk like me, you know, all it takes is one jealous cop, and my whole life has changed. You know, I'm selling weed. I'm selling it to the cops' brothers, cousins, sisters, and it's okay then. And you take one girl from them, and the next thing you know, you upstate with a weed beef. Even the people upstate can't want to figuring out what you're doing there. I had a man at intake. He said, I can't freaking believe that they brought you here. He said, you have no business here. He apologized to me, but after the little intake meeting we had, he said, I'm sorry.
This is Gospel Entertainment Television.